Due Process is a colorful and tactical first-person shooter that really amplifies the importance of teamwork and coordination. Its 5-on-5 structure is similar to the likes of Counter-Strike and Rainbow Six Siege, where you'll navigate a map and attack or defend bomb sites. But Due Process has an incredible hook. Every map is procedurally generated, so you never know what you're walking into. While Due Process is still in beta and not yet available on Steam, it's already an extremely colorful and stylized FPS that looks like a mashup of Doom 1993 and Hotline Miami. Though the early build I got to play only has one game mode, it's immediately familiar. The attackers, Argus Enforcers, the military force, need to stop the defenders, which are a band of outlaws, from guarding the bomb until the timer runs out. Each match of Due Process is broken into two separate parts, a preparation stage and then the execution stage. The attackers must infiltrate the building to take down the defenders and defuse the bomb to win the round. The defenders, however, can lay traps and fortify their defenses during the preparation stage before the attackers are released into the map. That seems like most generic team shooters, but the preparation phase is where it really gets interesting. Since every map is procedurally generated, you'll have to take extra time to study the map before moving into action. While maps may hold the same rooms and site names, which are important for callouts, they may never be in the same layout when you play. Since team-based shooters usually require you to learn the map and memorize where each site is going to be, playing the first few games was a bit confusing at first. I hoped that the game wouldn't be as confusing after a few rounds of playing on the same map, but I found myself still just as lost. Usually in team-based FPS games, the first thing to do is learn the layout of the map. But since it's ever-changing, neither team really has an advantage since nobody knows what to expect each time. So even if I'm flailing through unfamiliar territory, I know everyone else is too. And that's a small comfort. But there's good news if you work together. The map that you can pull up each match does show where each location is and what the new layout is, and more importantly, you're able to draw on it and show it to your teammates. So if you wanted to split up the team, asking half to hit one site while the others attack another, you'll be able to mark it on the map for everyone. And once you exit the map and look at the game environment in front of you, the markings will show up, so if you ever get lost, you can just follow the physical trail. I really like the ability to plan out a strategy with my team during the preparation phase, collaborate on ideas, and see where everyone is going to be positioned. And if you're a defender, you can even move your player icon around so you can actually select your spawn location during the prep phase. Both teams get a full arsenal of weapons at the start of each match, along with ammo and select throwables. However, when you take a weapon and ammo for it, that weapon is off the wall for the rest of the match. So if you die after a round, you lose that weapon and have to choose a new primary and secondary weapon and restock on ammo. It's extremely important to find the right gun for your playstyle and understand how to save weapons or ammo after a round so your team doesn't run out of supplies. Though there's an assortment of guns on the rack for each team, a few of them, like the sniper rifle, only have 2 stocked during a match. This means the teams will decide who's the better shot and who'll be taking the responsibility for handling that weapon. I like the idea of having to work with your team to coordinate gun assignments to make sure each round is as ammo efficient as possible. That extra degree of teamwork really enforces the themes of cooperation and team play. Having said all that, there are a couple of things that I think Due Process needs to iron out in this beta phase. For one, you're not able to change your weapons by using the scroll wheel on your mouse, and even learning the controls for basic things like kicking open doors can be a bit confusing. While there is a training area where you're able to test out different guns and see how to unlock locked doors, it's not always clear what buttons you need to be pressing. In fact, I didn't actually feel like I'd gotten used to the controls and the finer details until near the end of my 2-hour play session. But once I got the hang of it, it's extremely satisfying to get kills since it feels so much like a retro shooter. It's clear Due Process has a lot it's trying to accomplish, and while it doesn't quite hit all of its marks right now, it's still a fun team shooter that I genuinely want to keep an eye on. The procedurally generated maps keep each match just as intense as the first and really requires good teamwork to win. Due Process hits Steam Early Access later this year, but for now, you can check it out at the Due Process official site. For more updates on Due Process and other upcoming games, be sure to keep it here at IGN.